injury-plagued season. The Wolfpack closed the season with 4 straight wins. That's the most consecutive wins to close out a regular season since 2008. This will be the Wolfpack's 5th appearance in the TaxSlayer Gator Bowl. Their last appearance was in our 74th game on December 31st, 2018. On behalf of the TaxSlayer Gator Bowl, we would like to officially invite you to play in the 76th TaxSlayer Gator Bowl on June 2nd, 2021.
Hey, John, this is Boo Corrigan on behalf of NC State. We're thrilled to be back in the TaxSlayer Gator Bowl. Really proud of Coach Doran and the job he's done this year. And we've been there a couple of times before in 03 and in 18, and are really looking forward to coming back with a great team and in a united Wolfpack, if you will. So we're excited to be here and really looking forward to it.
Terrific. We're looking forward to hosting you as well. Coach, any comments?
You bet. Yeah, I appreciate the invite, and very excited to be bringing our team back down there. We had a great time last time, and the kids are really excited about an opportunity to play against Kentucky in an SEC program. The hospitality, I know, will be first rate, and another chance to play in an NFL stadium. It's been a crazy year, and it's just nice to still be playing, first of all, but secondly, be playing in a game like this. We appreciate the opportunity and look forward to representing NC State.
Well, thank you both, Boo and David. We really appreciate it. Looking forward to your visit with us as well. Next, I'd like to go to our Southeastern Conference School representative. Welcome to Athletics Director Mitch Barnhart and Coach Mark Stoops. Key highlights for the Wildcats season: they enter the bowl with a 4-6 record, including winning its regular season finale, having played a 10-game regular season exclusively against Southeastern Conference opponents. The Cats are one of only 2 teams in the country who have played 4 opponents who were ranked in the top 10 at the time of the game. Number 1, Alabama, number 5, Georgia, number 6, Florida, and number 8, Auburn. This will be the 2nd appearance in the TaxSlayer Gator Bowl for the Kentucky Wildcats. Their last TaxSlayer Gator Bowl appearance was the 72nd game on December 31st, 2016. On behalf of the TaxSlayer Gator Bowl, we would like to officially invite you to play in our 76th TaxSlayer Gator Bowl on January 2nd, 2021.
John, this is Mitch Barnhart, the athletic director at Kentucky, and on behalf of the University of Kentucky and our president, Dr. Eli Capilouto, and the Big Blue Nation, we're excited to come and be a part of the Gator Bowl, the TaxSlayer Gator Bowl, for the 2nd time in our program's history. So congrats to Boo and to Dave on a great year. It's an honor to play them in a big time game on January 2nd in an NFL stadium. I'm really proud of Coach Stoops and the efforts of a bunch of young men in our program that went through an incredibly challenging year on a lot of fronts. And so we're honored to have an opportunity to continue our season in Jacksonville and looking forward to January 2nd. And thank you so much for the invitation, and looking forward to seeing you all in person when we get down there. Coach?
Thank you. To echo Mitch, greatly appreciate the invitation. We had a great experience in 16, with the exception of the outcome of the game, but you guys treated us first class, greatly appreciated. John, thank you to Rick. It's a first class organization and great bowl game. Proud of our team, challenging year, but we're excited for another opportunity. I have great respect for Dave Doran. I've known Dave for a long time, and he's done a wonderful job with that program, and it'll be a challenge, and we're looking forward to it. Looking forward to getting down there. So thank you.
All right. Thanks, John. Appreciate you offering those invitations out. We're now going to open it up to media for questions. We're going to begin with Gary Smith of the Florida Times-Union. Gary, if you want to go ahead and unmute yourself.
Yeah, thank you very much. Mr. Barnhart, I want to address this to you. I know that some of your fan base was not thrilled last year when Tennessee got picked for this game. And I'm wondering were there any hard feelings on Kentucky's part about that? And do you feel like this is a little bit of a makeup for you guys?
I don't, I always try and look forward and not try and go backwards. We wanted to play, have an opportunity to get to Jacksonville. And there was thoughts we would head that way, and it didn't work out. And we had the opportunity to go to Charlotte, and our team put together a heck of a performance to beat a really good Virginia Tech team in Charlotte at the Belk Bowl. So the opportunity worked out incredibly well for us. We have the opportunity to come to Jacksonville this year and play North Carolina State, and excited about that. So this will be the 5th straight bowl for our program, and that's only the 2nd time in program history that's occurred. So we take the opportunities as they come and try to make the most of them. And I'll say this about Coach Stoops and our staff and our players: they have done that. The first 2 years in this process, and 5 in a row, it was the learning process for us. These last 2, we've found a way to learn how to understand the bowl experience, and Mark and his staff have done a wonderful job with that. So we're looking forward to January 2nd. No sense in looking back. We'll look forward and continue to look forward to coming to Jacksonville. It'll be great.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Gary.
Thanks, Gary. Let's go over to Larry Vaught. Larry, if you want to unmute yourself.
Yeah. My question is for you, John. When you're talking about the bowl experience, just how much different is it going to be for teams this year? And will there be any tickets for just general fans available to purchase?
Yeah. Thanks, Larry. The experience certainly will be a little different in COVID environment that these programs have navigated all year. So unlike the typical experience, which might be a 4 or 5 day experience in Jacksonville, it'll be probably at most a 2-day experience, and certainly we'll be very cognizant of making sure that we're providing safe experiences. And so there'll be very, very limited player experiences and things like that we would normally be able to offer from a host of hospitality. And on the ticket front, yes, we will have tickets available for both universities, in addition to some supply for local, but not a lot of supply given the capacity that we will run this year's game under.
Thanks.
All right, thanks, Larry. Let's go over to Jonas Pope. Jonas, if you'd like to unmute yourself.
I appreciate the time. This question is for Coach Doran and actually for Mr. Corrigan. First of all, congratulations on the bowl bid. But I wanted to ask, you guys have accomplished so much in this unusual year, the 8-win season, the 4-game winning streak. Why was it, when so many ACC teams have been opting out, why was it important for you guys to go to this bowl game and finish the season, finish the journey this way, playing in a bowl game?
For one, it's just something our players and coaches felt like we weren't done yet. It's another opportunity to compete. We've invested a lot to get to this point. It's the last time this group will get to play together, and wanted to have one more ride, and a chance to play a team outside of our league. Obviously, all of our games but one have been in league, and we have great respect for the SEC, and Mark and I have known each other forever. So this ends up being kind of cool getting to play against each other in this game. But with these kids, they're a special group, and I would hated to not have an opportunity to go out with them one more time.
Yeah, just to echo Dave a little bit, I think it's a chance. Each year is unique, right? And it's been such a crazy year, but again, we've been so united in where we've been this year, and the opportunity to play one more, to play against the University of Kentucky, to play in Jacksonville. All year, Coach Jordan's been talking about not blinking. This wasn't an opportunity to blink. It was an opportunity to move forward.
All right, thanks, Jonas. Let's go ahead to John Hale. John, if you want to unmute yourself.
Hi, this question's for Mitch. Mitch, we've talked to Mark a couple times about the perspective of playing in the bowl from the team side. So I'm just curious, from the administration side, were there any thoughts about not playing in a bowl this year, and why did you think this was the right decision?
I think, John, those are decisions we meet as a group together, and Coach Stoops, I certainly would defer to a lot of his conversations with his team and his leadership council, and they talked, and similar to what Dave and Boo said, this is an opportunity to continue to step forward in our program and in our conference. So we finished in the middle of the pack of the SEC. We had 4 conference wins in a really, really difficult league. And I think that in a normal year, that would equate to being in a bowl game in postseason play. And so we wanted to have an opportunity for those young men that want to compete one more time and have an opportunity to showcase their skills on a national stage in an NFL stadium against a really, really top flight opponent in North Carolina State. And I just think there's a lot of positives for it. It's not easy. It requires a commitment to being disciplined enough to go through the testing and all the protocols and all those pieces that are so hard. But our team has been really resilient and done that all year long, and we appreciate their faithfulness in that. But again, leaned a lot on Mark's leadership with his team and the things that they talked about internally. And so we felt like it was the right thing to continue to do to represent Kentucky in the SEC.
All right, thanks, John. Let's go over to Josh Moore. Josh, if you want to unmute yourself.
Yeah, thank you. John, how much, it seemed like the SEC was pretty determined to fulfill all these bowl obligations and get everybody playing, as much as they could. It seems like all these games, for the most part, are getting played. Just how much did the conference help as far as, I know they're always involved, but making sure, kind of adjusting these matchups or feeling like, I guess what was that process like as far as what role they played in making sure these games got filled?
Yeah. Well, certainly we have a partnership in the slotting is what I would call a true partnership with the conference. Bowl organizations, kind of have a short list. The conference, asks the programs, preferences, and we try to find matches. And so, that's obviously very helpful to make sure that it ends up being a win-win for all parties. So I'd say it worked, pretty smooth. I might, defer to our executive director or president and CEO, Rick Catlett, maybe for a little more insight into that process, since he's done this now almost for 3 decades. Rick, any comments you'd have about that?
Had to unmute, John. No, the conferences, both of these conferences that we're involved in, most of their teams wanted to continue the season, wanted to have an opportunity to play in postseason college football. We were certainly at the forefront of wanting to do the same thing. It doesn't do us any good after 76 years not to play a game. So working with the 2 conferences and going through all the COVID and going through all the stuff that you have to change and make happen, both of the conferences, and thank you to all of the ADs of those conferences that were able to negotiate a new deal, amended our existing current deal, because without ticket sales, it's very difficult to pay the amount of money that we were going to pay. But I think collectively, everybody wanted to play, and we were very pleased to be able to get 2 teams that had good seasons that wanted to come and play too. So I think, congratulations to the 2 commissioners for being at the forefront and all the ADs backing them up. So we'd like to thank Mitch and Boo and the rest of your colleagues in your individual conferences for the willingness to continue the tradition of postseason football.
All right, thanks, Rick. We've got one more question from Rob McLam. Rob, if you want to unmute yourself.
Yes, my question's actually for Mr. Corrigan. I just wanted to know what his thoughts are. This is sort of a culmination 2020, start of 2021, this bowl berth. Where does that put your athletic department? How do you feel about how things have gone this past 12 months?
Yeah, you feel good about it as leaders continue to identify themselves as you're going through something like this. So, as we're looking at going into 21, and thankfully 2020 will be over, but by the time we play this game, but we're looking forward to the opportunity to move forward. We've been in bowl games 6 of the last 7 years. The job that our leaders on our team, our students have done, the opportunity to be back together. And again, give our fans something to root for, right? And give them the opportunity to be a part of where we are as a program. And that will continue on once football ends, into basketball, and then into the spring sports. But, like Mitch knows, these have been really crazy times. And the best thing about it is it has brought us all together, and it's made us realize how lucky we are to get to do what we get to do every day.
Thank you. All right, let's go over to Mike Topert. Mike, if you want to unmute yourself.
Yeah, this question is for Coach Doran. And Coach, you touched on it a little bit. Good to see you, by the way. You touched on it a little bit, but considering everything that this team has gone through, when you talk about not just the COVID, losing a quarterback, injuries, schedule changes, how validating is this for you and the program to make it to a big, bowl like this?
Yeah, it's very rewarding. As far as validating, I don't know. I think just go from one conference win to 7, 4 wins to 8. I think the record speaks for itself on, what we accomplished this year and the way we accomplished it. These guys played 11 straight weeks without a hiccup, and it says a lot about their commitment and sacrifice as individuals. And Raleigh's not a small place, so to be able to keep our team the way we did, COVID clean for so long, I think says a lot about, the way our staff did everything. But programmatically, we're definitely headed back the direction that we were prior to last year, and happy that we are. And I think the coolest part of it was just how many different ways we found to win games, blocking kicks, touchdown passes, defensive touchdowns, a stop, whatever it might be. The kids found ways to win games and stick together. So it was very rewarding to go through it with them the way we did.
All right, thank you. Let's go back to Gary Smits for one more.
Yeah, this is for Mark. The one thing that jumped out at me when I was looking at some NC State information today was about their pass rush. In terms of total sacks, they're tied for 9th in the country with Alabama in the total number of sacks, and they seem to come at you from all different ways. So I'm wondering, you may not have had any opportunity to see any film yet, but I think you of all coaches could appreciate a good pass rush.
Yeah, without a doubt. I've known Dave for a long time, as he mentioned, and I know he comes from a defensive background, and doesn't surprise me. I think they're very aggressive with Tony Gibson being in a 3-3-5 alignment, and it can bring a variety of pressures from many different ways. So it'll definitely present a problem, but it doesn't surprise me. Again, the way Dave has them, the way they bounced back this year and played so strong, and won close games, won a lot of games. It's hard to do in a very challenging environment. So no surprise. I'll get on the tape. We just took a guess and started working on them today, with a shot at this game, and we'll continue to work on them here tonight.
And Mark, with your team and the struggles you had, do you see this game as a way to get a lot of younger guys some reps, a way to maybe start the next season off with a good performance in this game?
I do. I think there's always a fine balance in these bowl games, because you certainly want to get a jump start and you want to continue to develop your young players. It sets the tone for the future, but you also, want to play well for your seniors. They've dedicated so much and so much time and sacrificed so much each and every year, but in particular this year. So it's important for many reasons. You want to go out and play the very best you can, and put a good product on the field every time you strap it up.
Okay, thank you, Mark.
Yep, thank you.
Thanks, Gary. Oh, okay, we've got time for 2 more. We'll go to Josh Moore, and then we'll finish with Jonas Pope.
Hey, Rick, you mentioned the contract and some amendments there. Are you able to shed any light on what that looks like as far as the the financials between the Gator Bowl and the conferences?
We actually don't release any financial information, but I can tell you that working together with both of the conferences, we were able to, under COVID restrictions, be able to have 20% of our stadium capacity in the stadium, and definitely came to a very good revenue share with both conferences and the schools. And so we were very pleased to get that done.
All right, thanks, Rick. All right, let's finish up with Jonas.
Yes, questions for Coach Doran. And I was just curious. I don't know if you how often you've been around the guys the last couple of days. I know you guys had your award ceremony recently, but in the last few hours, have you heard from the guys about how excited they are now that they have an opponent and they officially know where they're going? Or were they talking about the bowl games a lot when you guys had your award ceremony recently?
Yeah, we had our awards today, and so they all knew that the selection was coming here this afternoon. They were excited. They knew what the different variables and possibilities were. So we'll hit the weight room tomorrow, and coaches will game plan. And I know the guys will be around watching film all day on Kentucky, and then get into the practice here as soon as we can. But they're excited.
All right. Thanks, Coach. All right, that's it, everyone. We're going to wrap it up with that. We appreciate Coach Stoops, the
Amanda.
director. Oh, Rick,
Amanda,
you want to
can I
jump
say
in?
one thing
Yeah,
real
go
quick?
for it.
For the media from the two schools, you may be wondering why the Jacksonville Jaguars are conducting this press conference. We had formed a conference, a alliance with the Jaguars 2 years ago, and it's been a great alliance, and it's great to have an NFL team that's willing to work so closely with a college team. And I just want to thank you, Amanda, for all you and your organization do for the TaxSlayer Gator Bowl.
Well, thanks, Rick. I appreciate that. That's very lovely of you to say, but I do appreciate everyone coming on tonight, especially all of our participants. We look forward to hosting you in Jacksonville in just a few short weeks. For the media who are on this call, we will be sending out audio and video links for you to download access of this footage from tonight's press conference. And if you would like to apply for credentials, all that information is available on the TaxSlayer Gator Bowl website. So with that, we'll say goodnight and wish everyone a happy holidays.
Good night, everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks, John. Appreciate you guys. See you soon.